Hi, my name is Dhiraj Singh. While the group is celebrating its 50th anniversary today, it is my 15th anniversary of association with the group. 15 साल हो गए और वक्त बीतते समय नहीं लगा. The first time I met Chairman Shri R.K. Sinha ji was at Agra in an annual conference. And I remember Rituraj brought him to introduce to me. I think we instantly had the mutual respect and the vibe. Obviously, I was in awe of him. I think he was a little maybe confused at that stage because prior to that, I was running a fund which was looking to invest in some of our SIS earlier businesses. And Rituraj was a friend also, and we had common roots from Bihar. And then I was looking at an association part-time initially with SIS Group. So chairman was a little confused, but that silence that we spent about half an hour together, I remember that silence was enough for that mutual admiration. When I formally came on board more as a full-time, which was about 11-12 years ago, I remember again meeting chairman and I told him a sentence that I still remember, that अपने लिए अगर काम नहीं किया तो कम से कम अपनों के लिए काम करेंगे. I will add one small other bit to it, that अपनों के लिए काम किया और अपनों के साथ किया. The अपनापन, the belongingness that I've experienced in the whole of SIS Group with its very large family has just been phenomenal. So that is my journey and my introduction to chairman and to the group. SIS has by far been my longest professional stint. It has brought stability to my personal life, my professional life, and most importantly, stability to my own mind. I become far more peaceful and calm. The earlier years of SIS I remember many of the stories very fondly. The very first time, probably in the very first week of my formal joining SIS Group, there was a GMC meeting in Bangalore, and I went there expecting we'll be in some 5-star hotel, and then we were put up in an ashram outside of Bangalore. Chairman used to visit that ashram with only vegetarian food. So that was a new experience, but a very delightful one, especially when I look back now. If I rewind the clock before that, in fact, when I was associated as a director part-time, the first time I went to Bangalore to attend an SMC meeting. That was my first formal meeting in the SIS Group in 2009. And it was a small room. Again, prior to that, I was used to some more lavish offices. So when I went to SMC in Bangalore, it was a small room with people from normal middle-class background, not highly educated. But what I sensed out there was the passion, was the feeling to do something, that hunger. And once I came back that night to Delhi, I wrote to Rituraj that I'm happy to have come on board, and I sealed my commitment post that. It was another thing that post that SMC meeting, we had gone to a restaurant and we had lots of drinks and a lot of non-veg food. And lots of fun and laughter. And that is the kind of feeling that you expect when working in a family like SIS. That has continued from then till now. But talking about food, it's not always been the lavish food items. So in the first year, I used to have fruits for lunch, and it soon spread that I have fruits in all my meals. So whenever I used to travel to different parts of the country in office meetings, They all used to come and serve platters of fruits to me while they were having the biryanis and the burgers nearby. And my reputation actually preceded, and that was something I had to tolerate. But I remember that with a bit of smile right now. There's another trip that I remember in 2000, probably 10. Rituraj, Mr. Dhiraj Singh, and myself, we went to Bali to do the joint venture agreement with Terminix. We were forming the pest management business, Terminix SIS. I was very excited that you go to Bali to seal a deal. And that was the time we spent many hours walking on the beach, Mr. Uday Singh, Rituraj, myself. And that laid the basis of a strong relationship again, not just personal, but on the business side also. I think after joining the group on a more formal basis, we did a lot of outbounds, treks, we did a lot of cricket matches, we went for satsang, meditation. I wanted to be more part of the group, but more importantly, I wanted everyone to feel as one big family, because many of the businesses were new at that time. And that helped a lot. I still believe that laid the foundation for many of the businesses that are thriving as of now. In many of the conferences, especially at DTSS, when we acquired them, we used to have our meetings in places outside of the city. And I don't know swimming, but I am a competitive guy. So I used to challenge everyone for a walking race in the swimming pool. And I always emerged the winner. But those are memories that I still get to hear from many of those old timers when I meet them. A lot of people have asked me what is the secret sauce of SIS? What differentiates SIS from the others? In my view, it is a very unique balance, yin and yang. It's got a perfect balance of systems and entrepreneurship. It's got a great balance of family bonding as well as a family that is performing. It's got a balance of individual contributions and team contributions. It's got a balance of knowledge on the ground as well as very strong professional management knowledge. It's a balance of young generation in the mid-20s, early 30s, and people in their early 50s, late 50s, who have worked for 30 or more years. So this balance is what makes SIS very unique in my perspective. What do I like and appreciate the most about SIS? A lot of times when I go to the clients especially, people ask me this funny question and they debate it for about 20 minutes that you're from IIT and why are you in this industry? Apparently there are very few, if at all anybody. And my only answer always has been it's that it's about the people. This business is about people, and if you like to leave an impact on people, to be amongst people, and if you get motivated by the admiration and awe that people give to you, then there's no better business than SIS. The impact that SIS has made on the overall society, the very obvious answer is the employment generation that we've created. It's not just the 3 lakh people, it is 3 lakh into 4 or 5 times people that we help feed. And we want them to rise, and they are rising, and they will be the future middle class. And that gives an immense sense of satisfaction, the impact that you can leave on them. And it is about the 6,000 other non-billing staff that we call. Again, people with very ordinary educational backgrounds, but the time you spend, the mentoring you do for them, that enables them to become more effective professional managers and leaders. And if we create a few such leaders, uh, there's no greater satisfaction than that. The biggest achievement of SIS over the 50 years, I think, before I get into the achievements, I think it's given a sense of a respectability to the so-called lower strata of the society, the guards, the janitors. Many of them now, most of them now, they are proud of the work that they are doing. They get respect when they go back to the villages. Their children look up to them. And that is something that personally makes me very, very elated. Coming to overall achievements, it's unfair to single out a single achievement. So let me recap in my view. The biggest obvious one is that when you start from in the first year of almost 12 lakh rupees to a 12,000 crore revenue, 12,000 crore plus, that is no mean achievement. From about 30 people to 3 lakh plus people now, becoming an Indian MNC. But if I recount more of the milestones that have happened in the past 10-15 years, clearly the period that stands out is the COVID time. Dhiraj and I talked regularly, incessantly. We were concerned about the clients, the employees, but our foremost concern was taking care of our employees, not just for the health, but for stability and continuation of the jobs. That was a period when working from home, I was personally driving an initiative of doing 1,000 sales in 100 days, and we far exceeded that. That definitely remains a very cherished memory for me. In my earlier companies too, I always had the aspiration to be amongst the top 10 greatest places to work in India, the GPTW survey. And we've been consistently ranking in the top 25, 50. And in 1 year, we were the top 5. That was definitely a moment to party. And we did party actually that evening. I remember we partied for 4 hours when we were on a sales conference, which reminds me that the dancing that we do in every annual conference and other conferences, we've guided to every move, every beat that the Bollywood has to offer. In terms of the more tangible businesses, we've literally created facility management from scratch to becoming the largest facility management company in the country. Similarly, we created from scratch the e-surveillance company to becoming the largest e-surveillance company. Even the tech SIS business, from scratch to now the largest system integrator company for any security company. The whole HR team, we've given it a far better structure. They are far more impactful and respected by the rest of the business. We've created the Ventures program, which is making a lasting impact. I was just interviewing one of the guards for our GTO cadre, and we asked him what he liked the most in SIS recently, and he talked about one of our venture investee companies in Title, which offers loans to our guards. So our Ventures program is beginning to make that impact too. The cross-sales initiative, we've doubled our cross-sales over the last 2 years. So all of these initiatives are adding up, and this is laying the platform for building a far stronger and bigger SIS for the future. In the security business, which has been our main bread and butter, for the first time over the last 4-5 years, we've acquired 2 more security companies in India. A lot of learnings has happened, and now this is going to lay the foundation again for a very interesting strategy for the overall security business in India going forward. Having talked about all these achievements, the things that give me the greatest pride are things like last week I was in Pune, and a person I met there, he talked about taking his family to Ellora Caves, where his father fell ill, and how our guards took care of him. Very professional, very courteous, till the very last moment he was put in the vehicle to go to the hospital, not willing to accept any tips, etc. And this person was so in awe that he never expected service industry in India to be like this. Similarly, when I hear somebody going to a hospital and how our housekeeping staff out there took care of that patient, there have been many such incidents that we hear, and that is the real sense of achievement in my view. How do we go from here next 20 years more, 25 years more? I see no reason, if we can have that perseverance, if we can have that management bandwidth, if we can preserve that culture, that DNA. There aren't many companies who can organize such large manpower-based organizations and add to it intelligent solutions. It can have vast applications across a whole host of segments and industries. And there's no reason why we should not just be a GPTW, Great Place to Work, top 50, but SIS can definitely be amongst the top 50 revenues companies also in India. I spent not too much time with Chairman personally, but whenever I do, and especially off late, he's always shown a lot of concern for my health. And he knows I am a health freak, but he still wants me to be even better in taking care of my health. And I love the way he advises me about millets, for example. And I do take his advice, and I instruct my wife also to follow that. So that I find it very endearing. The qualities that I really admire in Chairman Sir, I would summarize them in the 3 C's. The first is the comfort he has with people at all levels and in all situations. That is something that's not very natural to many leaders also, I know. The second C is the clarity in his communication, in his thoughts. The third C would be compassion not just for people, but for animals. I've seen him, how he takes care of the cows, or how he likes the peacocks coming into his home. So these are the 3 C's that I definitely admire and learn a lot from him too. Towards the end, what would I wish for Chairman Sir? Just a few months ago, he had sent me a message that he would want me to work for SIS when I am more than 75 years of age. My wish would be that I hope and I pray to God that he's fully healthy, fully active, to keep advising, guiding, and blessing me if I'm working at that age. God bless you. Thank you.
In 2016, SIS Group acquired DTSS, and post the acquisition, we found a permanent home in SIS, and there was going to be no further investor in the company hereafter. So we are like we now have a permanent home with the SIS Group.